Chapter 10.
Any sign of more elves?
Rucker asked as he paced the chamber floor, boots echoing off the stone as he sat down next to Samuel.
Not currently.
Samuel replied, seated with arms crossed.
She was the only one so far, but we still can't open the tower door.
Rucker slammed a fist into his palm.
How in the hells did she manage to do it?
Rucker asked.
We don't have a clear picture of how,
Samuel said evenly.
and we're not likely to find out from her.
Rucker shot him a sharp look. Samuel shrugged.
She's mute.
Rising to stretch his legs, he added.
The only clue we have are the 3 stones we found on her. They appear to be made of the same material as the towers.
Rucker raised an eyebrow.
Forget it.
Samuel said before the question came.
We're about as close to understanding the stones as we are to opening that door.
Rucker hissed under his breath as Samuel went to the side table, poured himself a cup of hot tea, and offered one over. Rucker, who waved it away.
How much damage did she do?
Rucker asked after a moment. Samuel stirred his cup and looked up.
No deaths, fortunately. 30 injured, including 6 mages. Most of the farmers' market was destroyed, and 5 buildings collapsed.
Rucker gave a low whistle.
All that from one spell?
Samuel nodded, tasting his drink, then replied.
If it weren't for the quick thinking of the remaining mages, it would have been far worse. The guild's reports suggest she was caught off guard. If she'd been prepared.
He left the rest unsaid. Rucker started to pace the floor.
She's a teenager, right?
Samuel nodded yes to the question.
Damn it!
Rucker said.
If she can do that now, imagine what a trained elven mage could do. I've been warning the council for months that the elves have too much freedom. Now we may have a real problem, especially if they know how to use the Black Towers.
I agree.
Samuel said quietly.
And I think you'll find several members of the council might finally be willing to listen.
Rucker cracked a thin smile, then turned toward the glowing time stone on the wall.
What do you want to do with the girl?
Samuel asked. Rucker stood silent for a long moment.
Can we use a thread on her?
I asked.
Samuel said.
The leads say elven chemistry's too different. The thread would die off in a day or 2, leaving her with her free will back.
Curse the lower gods for creating the elven race.
Rucker complained, slamming his fist on the table.
If King Carrender hadn't brought back the elven nation, from Sister after the Dupli wiped them out, we wouldn't be facing this problem now. Damn bleeding liberal.
Samuel waited for the echo of Rucker's anger to fade before speaking.
We do have another option.
Rucker turned toward him.
And what might that be?
We can collar her.
Rucker frowned.
That would put her under the control of the Sage Guild, wouldn't it?
Samuel nodded once.
The only other option is to dispose of her. Quietly.
Rucker shook his head no.
Historically speaking, that is a bad idea without knowing her family line. We don't know who might come looking for her. If the elves aren't already preparing for war, they surely would be once they found out.
Then we have no choice but to collar her.
Samuel said flatly. Rucker didn't respond right away. His jaw worked as he stared into a place only he could see.
With the amount of magic she commands, it's only a matter of time before she finds a way to use it again.
I know.
Rucker replied.
You're right, of course. But I don't like the idea of handing that much power to the Sage Guild.
It can't be helped.
Samuel said, shrugging.
Besides, it may not be as bad as you think.
Rucker resumed pacing, but did look in his direction. Samuel continued, calm as ever.
She's mute. She won't be telling anyone what happened. Only you, me, and a handful of mages know the truth, and the mages can be silenced easily enough. And during the collaring process, we can set limits on her, like when and how she can use her magic. Similar to threads, but a bit more vague in practice.
What about those in the marketplace?
Rucker asked, glancing toward the time stone. The council session was drawing near.
The battle happened too fast.
Samuel said.
No one saw the full picture. I've already set the rumor mill churning. By the time the story is spread, no 2 will agree on what truly happened.
Rucker nodded in approval.
I am not too familiar with the collaring process. Will the Sage know anything once they complete the process?
Rucker asked.
What I have been told is, it is more of a master and servant role. They glean nothing except a vague feeling from those serving under the collar.
Samuel set down his teacup.
It's time.
They donned their grey cloaks and stepped from the chamber into the great hall of the council. The chamber was a perfect circle, an architectural marvel that seemed born of both divine geometry and mortal craftsmanship. Towering ivory pillars ringed the curved walls, each standing like sentinels guarding a sacred truth. Between them stretched immense murals that pulsed with faint magic, their painted figures in perpetual motion. Battles, coronations, and celestial omens replayed across the walls in silent, shimmering cycles, living echoes of Norof's long and blood-stained history. At the chamber's heart rose a monumental table, its surface alive with intricate veins of color, where two types of trees fused into a single impossible form. The shape they made was that of an 8, the eternal sigil of Norof's twin moons. Balance and judgment are embedded into the surface of the tabletop, along with other magical script that protect the members. 30 figures in identical grey cloaks are seated around the table, their faces shadowed beneath hoods. The air between them hung heavy, whispered in low tones. The chairman lifted his gavel and brought it down with a sharp thunk. The chamber fell silent.
I would like to thank the council members for assembling so quickly on such short notice.
The chairman began. Several lords nodded their acknowledgement.
Lord Rucker, if you would, please brief us on the current situation.
Rucker rose from his seat, bowing respectfully to the chairman, before looking to the assembled council. His voice carried easily through the circular chamber.
Lords and ladies of the Great Council, earlier this morning, a single female elf successfully infiltrated the heart of Norof.
A low murmur rippled through the chamber. Rucker let the words hang for a moment before continuing.
The reason she was able to strike so deep into the capital is disturbingly simple. We believe the elves have learned how to use the Black Towers.
The room erupted in gasps and whispered exclamations. Rucker patiently waited till the voices died down again.
While her motives remain unclear, it is a fact that she inflicted considerable destruction with a single spell. The resulting injuries were severe, including the incapacitation of a small platoon of registered mages. Fortunately,
He added,
though many of our mages were struck down, a few remained capable of mounting a countermeasure. Through their swift and coordinated efforts, the intruder was subdued. She has since been contained and will, later today, be collared, ensuring she poses no further threat to our citizens.
Thank you, Lord Rucker.
the chairman said.
Your efficiency in this matter is commendable. However, many of the lords and ladies here have voiced a concern to me personally, namely, whether this act signals an impending invasion by the Elven nation.
Rucker allowed himself the faintest of smiles, which the robe hid well. He kept the smile from his voice.
We do not yet know if the Elven nation intends to mobilize for war. However,
He paused for effect.
we believe it prudent to call the National Army to readiness and to summon all available battle mages here in Norof for support.
A low wave of discussion swept through the chamber. The chairman rapped his gavel once, restoring silence.
Lord Rucker,
The chairman said evenly,
are you suggesting we provoke the elves into war?
That is not my intention.
Rucker replied.
Then please, explain your intention clearly.
Rucker gestured toward the great table.
If you'll indulge me, Chairman.
The chairman nodded in approval. Rucker touched 3 points upon the surface of the table. Immediately shimmering red lines of light spread outward, forming a hollow 3-dimensional map of Norof that hovered above the table. The borders pulsed like veins of fire.
I have taken the liberty of consulting several of our technomancers.
Rucker said.
They have modeled a series of defense scenarios. As matters stand,
He swept his hand across the glowing image, where faint blue figures representing their forces shimmered into view.
even with increased patrols, if the elves can truly wield the towers, they could overrun any resistance we muster within moments.
Rucker touched the map where the tower rose, at the very center of the city. The holographic image wavered and zoomed in, shifting to a close-up of the tower and the surrounding blocks. The tower's dark doors yawned open, and a ribbon of blue light poured outward into the farmer's market, flooding the nearby streets in only a few heartbeats.
You can plainly see.
Rucker said, voice flat, with the weight of the image.
They would overwhelm the patrols and seize the city center. From there they could take the entire city in under half a day.
Rucker waited until the murmurs died back down, then touched the map again. The view changed to a wider tactical overlay.
Our plan is simple. We mobilize forces to these key positions around Norof. With full deployments we can blunt any initial invasion. If they still manage a breakthrough, then our reserves will mop up the remaining pockets of resistance.
Won't this cause panic among the citizens?
The chairman asked.
No. Every 5 years we call out the bulk of our forces for a national training, large-scale maneuvers the public is used to. We merely move this schedule forward by 4 months and present it as an accelerated training cycle prompted by recent events. That gives us 3 weeks of full mobilization without raising undue alarm. During that window I will dispatch a scouting party to assess the Elven nation's posture.
And if you find they are preparing for war?
Another member demanded.
Then we activate the outlying cities and march this force into Elven territory to quash any organized resistance.
Rucker bowed once and resumed his seat.
Thank you, Lord Rucker.
The chairman said as he folded his hands onto the table.
Are there any questions before we vote?
The room was silent.
Very well. All those in favor of Lord Rucker's plan say aye.
A chorus of voices echoed around the chamber.
And those opposed?
Not a single voice raised a dissenting nay.
Since none oppose, Lord Rucker's plan is adopted and will take effect immediately.
Thanks for listening to Chapter 10. If you like the story so far, please like and subscribe. Please keep in mind, this is a solo project and takes a fair bit of time to put these together for your enjoyment. See you next time in Chapter 11.